Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to talk about alternation and cycling in fast piano progress. Alternation meaning going back and forth between two different things rapidly, and cycling, like maybe you're practicing A, then B, then C, then A, then B, then C, and just cycling rapidly through maybe three or more options. They're really the same general type of concept. And through these strategies overall, I'm hoping that I'll be able to give you some means of a faster feedback loop in the short term. Like you'll be able to see results faster or much faster than normal, but you'll also have stronger long-term benefits as well compared to maybe tips that only help you on the surface level. It'll really help you understand how to learn how to think better for the long term as well. So we have here Moon River, right? Very famous song, of course. A piano arrangement of it, of course. And I've talked about adding in reverse and some other related concepts in other videos that maybe you've seen. And this is the general idea of if we were to practice, from here to over here, almost everybody is going to be playing this part correctly and then, this part incorrectly, and then repeating, this part correct, this part wrong, over and over again until eventually the blue maybe overrides the red, but they've over prioritized the beginning, right? So I've talked about this a number of times. So in general, we have this idea of instead of going all the way from the beginning, we can practice just this part at the end. And let's just assume both hands for a moment here. If I can find the right colors. So it could be that you do the last 1/3 measure set here. And when I say set, I'm always including the following vertical as well. So this is like 1/3 of a measure plus the following beat. And we might do the entire one measure set, one measure plus the following beat. And then it could be that we do, of course, the entire two measure set, right? So this would be one way to add in reverse. And I've mentioned it before as well, but in general, once you get to this point, you would want to continue cycling if this doesn't work out. I think, and this is something that I wanted to kind of emphasize this time, I think a lot of students, they'll add in reverse and then they'll just play from the beginning over and over again. But you'll fall into the same trap. Like even though you've played this, which makes it easier to achieve this, which then made this in turn easier to achieve, if you then play from here over and over again, you'll still over practice this and play the ending wrong too many times. So in general, you really want the ending to be arguably the strongest part, so that when you start from here, that strongest part that you've prepared, you'll be able to smoothly transition into the next area. So in general, you want to actually rapidly cycle and alternate. And I think a lot of people underestimate how rapidly you can cycle and how many alternations can be possible. So for instance, if I were to practice something that for me was as difficult as this would be for, let's say, like a beginner student, I'd probably do the equivalent of practicing like the blue, the green, then the yellow, and then I go right back to the blue, then I try the yellow again, then the blue, then the yellow, then the blue, then the yellow, the blue, the green, the yellow, the green, the yellow, the blue, right? I'm really like going very rapidly back and forth. And this could take place in just like a few seconds, really. For students, it might take a few minutes to do that. And you'll encounter some resistance. If you're a teacher, probably the student isn't going to want to do that. If you're a student, you're probably going to feel some resistance because it's more difficult to start from here, find the notes again. But this helps so many things. I mean, it helps your note reading. It helps your ability to start from different areas. It's that desirable difficulty that the learning research talks about. You have to spend more effort, right? More cognitive effort. So it'll lead to a deeper level of learning. So even though it takes a little bit more effort in the very, very short term, even in the short term, like even during this practice session, it will help you so much better because obviously if you can do this perfectly, that means you can do this perfectly much easier. And if you can do this, of course, there's a much greater chance you can do this whole area. So I would say the default is this either rapid alternation, like blue, yellow, blue, yellow, blue, yellow, or cycling, blue, green, yellow, or of course any combination of these ideas. And there definitely may be more steps than this as well too. Like it could be that I've said in other videos, maybe we're doing like right, then left, then both. And then from over here, it could be right, then left, then both. And then of course we could be doing right, then left, then both, the whole thing. or the steps could be even different from that. And again, you could go through all 9 steps all over again. If it's not successful, go through all 9 steps all over again. Maybe that becomes unnecessary. Then you start to be able to do just the both, right? Both. But if it doesn't go well, keep going to the ending. Then try the whole thing. Go to the ending again. So you just want to go through whatever is necessary, and almost certainly it's going to be this transition part in the end. This part actually literally happens to be more difficult at the end because there was like a chord here that made it harder to transition. But strangely, even if the ending is not actually the most difficult part to technically play, it's like, let's say that it's actually the simpler part. The more difficult part is in the beginning. Believe it or not, the adding reverse principle, the alternating back and forth, it's still going to hold true just because of how we're going to over prioritize the beginning every time we just, en masse practice early over and over again, and from the beginning of whatever section we're working on. So yeah, hope that's helpful. Let me know if you have questions, thoughts overall, and looking forward to the next video.